Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here, Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel with the NXT report for the 13th of January 2021. Not a bad show, but the whole Dusty Classic thing I think is foolish. I mean, Cody runs a show, the hottest wrestling show in the country, on the other channel, and to use his father's name just to kind of stick it to him, I think is goofy. You could name it anything. The Dusty Classic thing just is unnecessary now, and I don't think NXT has enough tag teams that are worth anything to pull it off. So I think it actually sets the show backwards. Um, anyway, show opens with Shotzi Blackheart making her entrance via Tank, Candice LeRae with Indy Hartwell, and uh, well, that's actually it. I thought she had other people with her. She did not. Defeats Shotzi Blackheart. LeRae pins Blackheart in a good match. Hartwell interferes to help LeRae win the match. Um, Match starts like a fight. Basically, both ladies tear into each other from the beginning. Blackheart gets her shine, does a crossbody off the top rope for near fall. Blackheart does some ground and pound getting submissions on LeRae and backs her up into the ropes. Blackheart continues the attack. They fight on the apron. Blackheart flies off the apron with a knee strike. Hartwell causes a distraction. LeRae springboards into a crossbody on the floor. Show cuts to picture in picture for the commercial. LeRae gets some heat back on her opponent. Blackheart makes a comeback when the show returns, and LeRae gets a DDT on the apron, and then basically sends her out to the floor for a tope. LeRae counters Blackheart. LeRae ends up with a lion salt. Blackheart blocks it. LeRae with another counter applying the Gargano escape. Blackheart breaks the hold and hits a net breaker. Hartwell causes a second distraction. Blackheart climbs the turnbuckle, and then we see LeRae hit Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and get the victory. Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan are arriving at the building. They arrive just as Finn Balor is heading to the ring to cut a promo. Let's see. So then we see Balor is cutting a really basic promo. Dunne confronts him in ring. Dunne is joined by Burch and Lorcan. Dunne cuts a promo that basically says he is the rightful champion and should be. He enters the ring. Brawl erupts. Balor tries to fight off everybody, all three guys. To get the better of him, O'Reilly runs in, makes the save. Adam Cole and Roderick Strong run down as well. Undisputed Era clear the ring. Interesting to see them help Balor. Also interesting to see that Balor has no other friends to help him. And then Balor has a stare down with Undisputed Era, and then he nods at them in respect. And Balor rolls out, puts the belt on his shoulder. Johnny Gargano is doing an interview. Austin Theory brings him a gift in an envelope. It's a Dexter Lumis picture. Please tell me that this is not leading to Gargano versus Lumis. If it is, I think I'm going to pull my hair out. Gargano's not happy. He meets Lumis in a match later on, and so my worst fears are realized. Grizzled young veterans James Drake and Dak Gibson defeat Ever-Rise, Chase Parker, and Matt Mantell to advance in the Dusty Classic. Gibson pins Martel to win the match. Grizzled young veterans advance to the next round. Vets cut the ring in half early and work over Parker for several minutes. Martel clears house after a hot tag. Ever-Rise is going in the right way with double team maneuvers. Vets cut them off and give them Ticket to Mayhem, gifts and covers for the pinfall. Vignette highlights Raquel Gonzalez and the fact that she wants Io Shirai. Shotzi Blackheart has found a partner in Ember Moon for the women's NXT Dusty Classic. Johnny Gargano with Austin Theory defeats Dexter Lumis in a non-title match. Gargano gets a roll-up victory. Big surprise there after Theory interferes. Gargano brings the picture Lumis drew with him. Gargano basically rips it up in front of him. Lumis stalks around and keeps getting the better of Gargano for several minutes. Lumis blocks a superplex. Gargano bumps for him. Lumis goes for Swanton, but there's nothing there. Cut to commercial. Gargano is in control when we return to the show, and Lumis hits a spine buster, and then hits a slingshot suplex like he's channeling the Brain Busters here. Follows with a bulldog, and then Gargano fights back, counters a crucifix. Gargano with a near fall, and then they trade near falls for the next couple of minutes. Gargano kicks Lumis in the head. They exchange strikes yet again. Theory grabs Lumis's leg, gets kicked aside. Lumis cuts his opponent off again and jumps to the apron. Lumis is suplexing Theory into the ring. Gargano gets behind, rolls him up, and gets the win. Lumis goes after Theory post-match. Gargano cuts him off. Gargano grabs a chair and hits Lumis with it, and then Kushida runs down, makes the save. Lumis applies his submission finish, and that's that. Ciampa and Thatcher go face-to-face. Wade Barrett hosts a face-to-face interview. Basically, they want to rip each other apart. They build to the pit fight on next week's episode. The promos were really simple, nothing to write home about. Anyway, we go to MSK, Wes Lee and Nash Carter defeating Swerve Scott and Jake Atlas to advance in the Dusty Classic. This is horrible in the sense that the established guys, Atlas and Swerve, look like they don't matter, really. And plus, they take the loss. MSK were formerly Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz of the Rascals. They do okay, I guess. MSK do a lot of flying moves around, and they do several dives. Everyone goes nuts. Action. No psychology to the match whatsoever. Atlas and Scott work together and get some double team moves. MSK hit a comeback and then execute a double neck breaker. Carter covers Scott for the pinfall. Women's Dusty Classic begins next week. First round matches include, but are not limited to, Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter versus Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez. Men's Dusty Classic matches for next week include Lucha House Party versus Imperium, Kushida and Leon Ruff versus Johnny Gargano, Austin Theory in another tournament match. Xia Li defeats some random enhancement talent, and her entrance takes longer than the contest itself does. Hits a spinning wheel kick and covered for the pinfall. Name of the person taking the loss is never announced. Fight backstage between Scott and Atlas is broken up by Bronson Reed. And I guess this sets up Reed and Scott somewhere down the road. Undisputed Era, Cole and Strong with Kyle O'Reilly defeats Breezango, Breeze and Fandango to advance in the tournament. And this is relatively decent. Cole pins Fandango, Undisputed Era advance the next round. flow to the matches back and forth. Both teams look even, which I suppose is good considering Fandango and Breeze have been on the main roster, so I guess that means, in theory, that you could call up the Undisputed Era at any time if you wanted to. Match goes through a commercial break, and they do a double down upon return. Cole and Breeze double hot tags. Strong and Fandango come in. Chaos continues. Strong goes wild for several near falls. Cole tags in, goes to work on Fandango, counters with a last shot. Breeze comes in and catches Cole with a backstabber for a near fall. Fandango turns the tide back in his team's direction. Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan run down and brawl at ringside with O'Reilly. The idea is to injure O'Reilly. Finn Balor comes down to make the save. He and O'Reilly are still outnumbered, and Dunne lays out O'Reilly with a shot to his injured jaw. Cole, distracted in the melee. Cole walks into a super kick. Strong is backdropped outside. Panama Sunrise is countered. Fandango goes to the top rope. He leaps off only to eat a super kick from Cole. Cole covers him for Undisputed Era to advance. Cole and Strong immediately went to check on O'Reilly at ringside, and the show closes. I guess this is fine. Overall, AEW Dynamite, the better show in the sense that at least there was some storyline advancement with some things, and at least at the end of the day, you felt like you watched a show that plays into next week. WWE no longer does this on virtually any of its shows, except for maybe one or two storylines. Well, maybe three. One mid-card, one main event storyline, and one woman's storyline. But other than that, if you can get that in a week, you're good with WWE. 2021 not really starting all that much better than 2020 as far as wrestling content goes. But we will be back with more Mid-South stuff later tonight or tomorrow. And you can also head over to the main channel, Golden Opportunities Coaching, if you're looking for life, business, or relationship coaching. Till next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.